Alright, so this is the video for my week 2 draft league match against Sebber for as part of the Littleroot Lessons podcast draft league. And this week, I guess I don't really know how I feel about this week. Last week didn't go so well. I was pretty happy with my team last week, but then I lost. And I realize in retrospect that I made a load of mistakes. In theory, I've learned from those mistakes, but we'll see, won't we? I'm actually recording this the day before my match because I have the setup in place now, and I have a bit more free time, so I can go into a bit more detail talking about my team. A bit more than I did before. Last week, I sort of just rushed through it all because I was basically just about to actually do the match, and my head wasn't really in it for that part. But that's fine now. I can talk about my actual team a bit more detail now. So first Pokemon I've chosen is Suicune. I feel really good about Suicune. This is a much more offensive focused one than I did last week. Last week I didn't bring Suicune, so it was a bit of a waste. But I had built it as a more support Suicune because I just thought, well, it's a good support Mon. I'll use it for that. But the thing is, it was pretty redundant with a lot of other stuff I had that week, so there was absolutely no reason for me to bring it. So this week I decided to I think the problem I had last week was that I bought too many support mons and not enough offense. So that's something I've tried to fix this week. I've tried to make my team a little bit more offensive, focused, and a little bit less support heavy. And in the interest of that, I've done a more offensive build on a Suicune with Hydro Pump and Ice Beam, which has pretty good coverage into my opponent's team. Obviously, it still has Tailwind. I didn't bring the Corviknight this week, so this is my only source of Tailwind on the team. And Protect, I'm intending for it to be a bit bulky and maybe try and wall Palkia a bit at some point, maybe. I mean, if it gets in front of Palkia, then I don't... okay, well, Palkia gets about 1,000,000 coverage moves, and I'm sure there's something in its moveset that can one-shot Suicune. I'm hoping that one-shot is maybe more of a two-shot. But we'll see, won't we? At least it can't use Hydro Pump on it. Well, I guess it can, but it won't do that much damage. So you can see its EVs here. I've actually built it more towards physical defense than special defense because it's pretty... I don't know, its special defenses are alright. I think the biggest threat to the Suicune is obviously my opponent's Rillaboom. It's really not going to like being hit by grass moves. That's why it has the Rindo Berry as well. And the specific build you see 180 EVs in defense is just enough so that it will always hang on from a Wood Hammer, from a... I think I did the maximum possible of everything. I did like a Choice Band, Adamant, Max Attack, Rillaboom, Wood Hammering into the Suicune, and Suicune is going to survive that with like 1 HP. So Grassy Glides, it'll survive those a lot better. I think it takes 2 Grassy Glides. The first one obviously it will shrug off, and then the second one will finish it off. So whatever happens, if it goes up in front of Rillaboom, it's not getting one shot. So hopefully that should increase its chances of getting a Tailwind up. And then the Ice Beam is there because, well, obviously it hits back at the Rillaboom if it needs to. Let me find my notes. So the Suicune should do alright into the Heatran because obviously it walls a lot of the stuff Heatran is bringing. Like it's going to shrug off the fire stuff and the steel stuff. It's not really going to care about the earth powers that much. Hydro Pump is good against Heatran. It's also good against Mamoswine. Ice Beam is good against Togetic and Rillaboom. Ice Beam is also good against Drifblim. I think it just has reasonable coverage. I'm not sure if I'll bring it or not. I mean, I probably will end up bringing it because I'll want the Tailwind. My opponent has Tailwind too. If I see Drifblim on their side of the field, then I'll have to bring my own Suicune because I'll assume that it will be Tailwind versus Tailwind at that point. But yeah, that's the reasoning behind the Suicune build. Next up, Clefairy. This is a pretty standard Clefairy set. It's like the most standard set possible. Eviolite, Moonblast, Follow Me, Helping Hand, Protect, Friend Guard. That's what Clefairy does. This specific one, because my opponent's team is like half physical and half special, they did a really good job balancing their team in that regard. So I kind of just completely split the difference and made my Clefairy like equal in both. And I don't know. Okay, I don't necessarily have enough. I don't have enough experience to know whether that is a good idea or not, because obviously it has 97 in both defense and special defense, which means that it's equally good at both. It also means that neither of them are as high as they could be. So if I had decided to spec it either in defense or special defense, then it would be better in either of those regards, obviously. And maybe there's an argument for saying that obviously because the Palkia is the biggest threat on the field, I should have gone all in on special defense to try and withstand. But then I think I did the damage calc, and even if I did go all in on special defense Eviolite, I'm still getting 2-shot by Hydro Pump, and that doesn't change. So the damage calcs basically just mean that for the big hits that are going to take this thing out, it doesn't change much whether I go all in on one of those stats or balance it out. So I figured I'd just balance it out and give myself peace of mind in that regard, so I didn't have to micromanage in my own head, whether or not I was bringing the Clefairy out in front of a physical mon versus a special mon. I can just chuck it out on the field at any point and let it do its thing. Ideally, that would be paired next to the Zygarde, but any of my Pokemon would be happy to go next to it. I do think that it's most important to get it next to the Zygarde, though, because I'll get to that when I get to the Zygarde, but, that's one of the reasons why this is going to be a pretty rough week for me. It's quite a difficult matchup, Zygarde versus Palkia, really, so I need all the help I can get. Next up is the Chandelure. I kind of like Chandelure. It does a lot of things all right. I didn't bring it last week, or rather, I had it on my team last week and didn't end up bringing it again. I don't necessarily know what happened this week, but Chandelure actually is another. It has decent coverage again, like the Rillaboom, the Mamoswine. Really don't like being hit by the Overheat, and Shadow Ball is good for the Drifblim and the Meowstic. If I can get a big attack into any of those things, that might be nice. But it's also kind of there for utility. Ally Switch and Taunt. Obviously, Ally Switch. It's okay. I don't want to lean too heavily on Ally Switch, but it might end up going that way. And honestly, if this thing can Ally Switch and take a bullet for my Zygarde, take a Hydro Pump, and go down so that Zygarde can live, then that is absolutely a worthwhile trade that I'll be happy to make. So yeah, we'll see if that comes to it. This is a really basic EV build, obviously, just all in on special attack and speed, because that's what this thing is best at. The bit where it says that it's serious nature, that's not true. I'm actually using timid nature. I must have forgot to do that in the screenshot before I hit print screen. And Flash Fire ability, because they've got a Heatran, I'm hoping that might be a good opportunity to get a free switch in. For example, if I lead something like Berserker or Frostlass and they lead Heatran, then I might be able to do a cheeky switch in on and have this thing absorb the fire attack. Who knows? We'll see. It's one of the tricks that this thing has up its sleeve. Frostlass. So this is maybe, I don't know, I think a lot of people are probably going to look at this and say that this is a weird and a bad setup, and I think they're probably right, but I need Light Screen in front of my Zygarde in order for it to not get completely annihilated by Palkia. So I think that Frostlass has to be one of my leads in order to get screens up for me to even have a chance. So I figured since I was doing screens, I would put both of them on there, because you never know. Ice Beam is there just because it's nice to have an ice move. I already said when I was talking about Suicune that ice hits a couple things quite nicely on this team. Trick Eject Button You know, you want to run something like that on a prankster Pokemon, but I don't have any prankster Pokemon. But this thing is fast. Like, if you look at the EV spread, 180 EVs into speed is all it needs to outspeed everything on my opponent's team. So I can save the rest of those EVs for special attack. And I know that they also don't have any pranksters on their team. The only stuff on the field that's going to outspeed this Frostlass is going to be one of the two Unburdeners, either Unburdened Driftblim or Unburdened Slurpuff. But those two things aren't likely to come out and then one-shot the Frostlass. So at least Frostlass will have a decent chance of getting Light Screen up, regardless of what my opponent leads. And then, on the assumption that it's still on the field by turn 2, Trick Eject Button is there just as something. But who knows? Maybe, and even if the trick doesn't work, at least the thing can get ejected out and then come back in at a later date to eat a hit and maybe stall a Dynamax turn or something. Who knows? Yeah, I don't necessarily know about this one. I've got a feeling that this is going to... If I end up losing horribly, I think it's most likely going to be because of this Frostlass build. I'm probably going to come to regret this, but whatever, you know. This is what I've settled on, and I am happy with it. We'll see if I'm still happy with it tomorrow. Berserker. Interestingly, Choice Scarf Berserker with maximum speed, so Jolly, Nature, 252 EVs, and Choice Scarf, comes to a speed stat of, I don't remember, 168. And the fastest possible speed a Palkia can get to with max speed investment is 167. So this thing outspeeds Palkia by 1 point. And this thing has very high attack, and it has Tough Claws, which basically gives it... Does that give it Stab? The equivalent of a Stab boost? I don't think so, because I think Stab is 1.5 and Tough Claws is maybe 1.2, 1.3, I don't remember off the top of my head. But in any case, Tough Claws, Play Rough, off of a max attack invested Berserker. That's going to act before the Palkia, and that's going to hit the Palkia for more than half damage. And I'm hoping that this will be a surprise trick that my opponent won't see coming, because I think people normally assume Berserker is going to be slow. And if they see it on the field, then they're probably going to assume that it's a fake out Pokemon and an otherwise sort of utility Pokemon. And I think it's also... Well, I don't know. Maybe... Who knows what my opponent will think. I don't want to try and get inside their head too much with what they will or won't expect when they see a Berserker on the screen. But if I open... So basically what I'm thinking of doing is opening with a combo like maybe Berserker and Frostlass, or Berserker and Suicune, depending on whether I think it's more important to get Light Screen up or Tailwind up. And I think my opponent is probably going to lead with the Palkia. Well, maybe. Okay, whatever. Maybe they will. Maybe they won't. If I open with the Berserker and they open with the Palkia, they're probably going to expect me to spend a turn doing Fake Out Tailwind or Fake Out Light Screen. And what's actually going to happen is I'll do Tailwind, Light Screen, and hit the Palkia for a more than 50% of its damage. Like that I've done that calc, and that does like 75% of Palkia's HP. Assuming that they don't, and I don't think it's likely that they would Dynamax the Palkia in that situation, because I think if you send out your Palkia and the other side of the field has a Berserker and a Support Mon on it, that's not really what you want to Dynamax into. You want to save your Dynamax until you see the big hitters on the other side of the screen. So maybe that will play out the way I think it will, maybe it won't. But it's nice to know that's kind of one of the only big fairy hits on my team. Is Play Rough coming off of Berserker, so we'll see what happens with that. And obviously, if they've done a full defensive build, I don't think you would do a full defensive build on a Palkia, but then it would probably then activate a weakness policy, but at which point they've got a Palkia which is lost a bunch of its HP, had its policy activated, it will probably then go on to one-shot something on my side, giving me a free switch in on... Okay, look, I'm not going to play too many turns ahead in my mind. That's what... The Pokemon is what it is. We'll see what happens. And lastly, my Zygarde. This is going on a bit longer than I thought, but Zygarde is very difficult to put up against a Palkia because I really like Zygarde. It's one of my favourite legendary Pokemon. I snapped it up straight away when I saw it on the draft just because I really wanted it. I was excited to build teams around it. I think it looks really cool. I really like Power Construct as an ability. I think it's incredibly fun to think of, to use. But it does not match up well into Palkia. It's slower than Palkia, and its special defenses are not amazing, which means that Palkia can pretty much one-shot it unless Light Screen is up or unless I Dynamax the Zygarde. So basically what I'm seeing is that I will probably... Okay, if I Dynamax the Zygarde, it gets hit by an attack which won't one-shot it once it's Dynamax because it does have a load of HP. Power Construct will kick off, giving it a health boost again. Weakness Policy will kick off, giving it +2. And obviously once it's in 100% form, its stats get erased. I don't mean erased, I mean its stats get a raise. And then hopefully from that point it can blow stuff up. We'll see. I got Outrage and 1,000 Arrows on it. 1,000 Arrows is a very cool move that I really like. It's a spread Earth move that is slightly weaker than Earthquake, but it hits Flying and Levitate Pokemon, and it also grounds them, so it takes away their Flying and Levitate. I'm not sure if it actually removes the typing. I don't know if it works like Roost does, where it temporarily makes you not be flying. But in any case, it means that if I can 1,000 Arrows something, then, for example, their Togetic, or do they have any other flying or levitate stuff? I think it's just the Togetic. Oh, Drifblim, of course. If I can 1,000 Arrows those things and then max, then I can max Quake into them safely without having to worry about them missing, which means that I can get the special defense boosts that I want and not worry about my ground attacks being wasted on flying type. So that's a nice trick. It's got Giga Impact just because it's really nice being able to use Max Strike and lower the opponent's speed. If I can do that on a Palkia, if I can maybe have it next to the Clefairy and have the Clefairy follow me away and attack and Giga Impact into the Palkia, then suddenly everything's completely different for me because my Zygarde is outspeeding, and then that's an amazing situation to be in. And Protect, yeah. The stats I've gone for the EVs. So 140 EVs into speed. It doesn't EV... I don't remember exactly what I did for this. Maybe I can have a look on my notes. That many EVs are there to outspeed Mamoswine, I think. A max speed Mamoswine will still be undersped. No, Zygarde will overspeed the max speed Mamoswine. Because Zygarde really does not want to take ice attacks. And that's one of the biggest threats into Zygarde. This is the thing about this matchup, because it's not just Palkia versus Zygarde, right? It's Zygarde versus the entire team. And Mamoswine is a really big counter against Zygarde, that thing. If it ice shards, like a full Adamant Life Orb ice sharding Mamoswine into Zygarde is gonna do some serious damage. I didn't calc it because I didn't think I needed to, because I just know that it's gonna mess it up. Yeah, and that's not even the only source of ice moves on their team. They could have Ice Punch on the Obstagoon, Icy Wind on the Drifblim that could turn into Max Hailstorm. I'm sure the Palkia can have... Or the Palkia wouldn't need to be... Actually, no, the Palkia would probably do better off carrying something like Blizzard and then maxing into Max Hailstorm. That would do more damage than the Palkia just relying on its dragon attacks, because that's hitting the 4 times weakness. So yeah, I don't know. This is the reason why I don't. The thing is, right, I think my team this week is in a worse position than my team last week was. So I think it's more likely that I will lose based on those grounds because it's a harder matchup. But by the same token, I'm actually a lot less nervous this second week than I was first week. Because firstly, I mean, it was the first match of the league, you know, and I'd never done anything like that before. So I was pretty tilted before I even went into the game. I think you can probably tell if you watched my recording last week that I wasn't. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe you can or maybe you can't. But I was pretty nervous, and I think when I ended up losing, I was pretty kind of. I wouldn't say pretty salty. I'd say kind of salty at the end. But this second week, I feel like I've matched into someone who's a lot closer to my skill. Even if I get absolutely demolished, I don't think I'll worry as much because it's all just fun, isn't it? So, and I would be really happy for my opponent because they're really friendly. They've messaged me and we've chatted a little bit, and it'd be really good if they won for them. But then, yeah, well, whatever. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up now because I'm definitely rambling. And we'll see. I'll edit this into the match that I do tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Right. Well, time to pick my team then. Here they are: Zygarde, Clefairy, Frostlass, Berserker, Surasoon, and Chandelure. Let the battle begin. And let's see how it goes. Right, what have we got? This time I'm going to try and remember to make more notes. Oh my god, he did not bring the Palkia! That completely turns 100% of my preparations on its head. Okay, so he's got the Rillaboom, Heatran, Hitmontop, Togetic, Drifblim, and Mamoswine. Wow, exciting. There's no Palkia. Well, I think then, okay, that really flips things. I'm bringing my Surasoon because I want to go Tailwind against their Drifblim. And I want my... Oof. Okay, I don't know what to do. I think Berserker, because I think Berserker matches up quite nicely. And I want... Oh. Huh? Oh dear. Right, let's get back on same code. Oh god, my heart skipped a beat. 1 3 3 5 5 3 3 1. Hopefully that doesn't happen more than once. I guess it gives me more time to prepare. So what have we got? Yeah, I think that Surasoon and Berserker is a nice lead with Zygarde and Chandelure. Chandelure matches up really well into this whole party. Right, let's get back into it. I hope that doesn't happen more. I hope that their connection doesn't keep dropping. But I know exactly who I'm bringing. Chandelure, Berserker, Zygarde, and yeah, Chandelure in the back. Locked in. Hopefully you don't have more connectivity problems like that. It would suck if it dipped in the middle of a match. I wonder what happens. I mean, I guess we'd just do a rematch. Finish my tea. Right. I'm so surprised not to see Palkia. So surprised. I thought that Palkia would completely shut down my Zygarde. I thought that it being there would wall it entirely. All of my preparations were basically built around that premise. So it not being there, on the one hand, that's great news for me because my biggest threat isn't on the field, but on the other hand, it scares me because so much of what's left, there must be other tricks. So the Mamoswine, the Heatran, and the Rillaboom are the three big damage dealers. I think that the Suicune... Interesting. That's not bad. Let's see what they open with. Cool looking character. All gold and red. Drifblim and Rillaboom. Well, there's the Unburden. So they're going to be fast. They're going to be super fast. Does Drifblim get fire attacks? They've got a defense boost and a speed boost. Let's see. They're probably going to fake out someone. Most likely the Suicune, but even if they don't fake out the Suicune, they're either going to Grassy Glide or fake out into the Suicune. I think Protect on the Suicune is super safe, and I guess at this time I lock the Berserker into Crunch. I can always tag it out afterwards and change its move. See how this goes. Maybe I should have thought about that. The one thing I've learned... okay, fake out. Okay, that's not that much of a problem then. That's a problem. Will-O-Wisp. Okay. Well, it's a shame that I didn't manage to get... I could have got Tailwind off for free. I guess they read into my Protect, but now I think I'm super safe to just Tailwind. And... since it hasn't locked me in... I'm just going to do the same thing. I mean, it's damage on the Drifblim. Yep. Suicune don't care about that. Boom. Shadow Ball. That's not going to hurt. Well, it might. Yeah. Suicune is bulky. Shame about the burn. That damage really isn't as high as I would like. But I do get the Tailwind up, which I'm happy about. I think I need to get this Berserker out of here now. Do I have a safe switch? So you're gonna Ice Beam into the... Who's the bigger threat? Let's protect you again, just in case they go for the second Grassy Glide. Do I have a safe switch out for this thing? Thing is, if they try and Shadow Ball the Berserker, then my Chandelure is not going to like that. In fact, my Chandelure doesn't like being opposite that Drifblim at all. So I think I just stay in and continue to eat away at the Drifblim's damage. HP rather. Try and wear it down. Ideally, if I can clear the Drifblim off the field in time for the Chandelure to come out, then... Oh, I wonder if they... I'd actually quite like it this time for them to knock off the Berserker, so I can get my move choice back again. I wonder if they'll go for that. Why'd they knock off the Suicune? It's already used its berry. Well, I'm staying in. Let's try and finish this Drifblim off. I don't... Oof. Yeah, I kind of knew that would happen. But Ah, nice. That was a crit. Yeah, yeah. But that's good for me. That really helps because that was one of the big threats stopping me from bringing in my Chandelure. Now that's gone. Oh my god, I make my decisions way too quickly. I just picked Chandelure without even stopping to think for a second about weighing up the pros and cons between Chandelure and Zygarde. I mean, I still feel that maybe Chandelure was the right choice to make in that situation, but it could have been anything else. Chandelure doesn't care about the attack drop. It can't get fake outed because it's a ghost. Maybe I'll just try and blow up this Rillaboom. What are my options? Okay, let's actually slow down. Let's take my own advice. Shadow Ball isn't doing anything for me here. Overheat into the Rillaboom is nice, but they probably could see that coming and take that as an opportunity to tag in a Heatran, and I don't want to activate a Flash Fire. So maybe I'll sit on the Overheat for now. Maybe what I'll do is taunt the Hitmontop, try and stop it from doing any weird stuff. This Berserker may be about to eat a... Okay, that was a really abrupt decision I made at the end, but I do think that it's a safe switch. Yes! I called it. Nice. So glad that I stopped and thought before I overheated the Rillaboom. Oh no, I didn't get the attack in time. Whatever. That's fine for me, actually. Because Chandelure taunts that thing. Hopefully they were about to go for some sort of... Oh, okay. Well, you know what? That's not really a problem for me. I wanted to get my Berserker off the field anyway. And now it's gone. That Hitmontop is taunted. What are their options? They can't do a wide guard, which means they're powerless to stop me from using anything. Do I want to? What are they likely to do? High jump kick. I reckon, so they're going to have to either swap out or high jump kick the Zygarde. If I ally switch, then they might high jump kick into the Chandelure and it will vanish. They can't wide guard. That thing is going to hate to receive 1,000 arrows. It's probably going to guard, but just in case it's not. I think this is a safe play. I feel like I'm pretty happy with this. Yeah, because now that I just get free damage on the Rillaboom. Grassy Surge comes out, but that's fine. Yep. Let's see if they high jump kick the Chandelure. Oh, that's a sick animation. Triple Axel. Oh, nice. Oh, of course they have ice moves. Nice to know that I outspeed the Hitmontop. I think I always knew that was the case, but it stops it from being like a weird choice scarf variant or something. So now what do I want to do? They can't switch back in their Heatran, because I can continue to spam 1,000 arrows. Although that's not doing anything against the Rillaboom, and eventually they're going to have to bring their Heatran back again. I think I'm pretty safe to max at this point and start picking up special defense. Attack drops on these guys and special defense drops, boost, and start tanking up with the Zygarde. Start getting the stat boosts on the Zygarde and the stat drops on their team. Because at this point, I think if they triple axle me, obviously through max, I'm probably going to be alright, especially if I've got an attack drop on them first. And that is a 4 times boost. Maybe I'm underestimating how much triple axle can do in this situation. Okay, that's not necessarily a problem for me. I lose my weakness policy, but that Rillaboom is going to be gone now. And they get an attack drop on the Hitmontop. That was a smart play. That was a smart play. They got rid of the weakness policy before they hit me with the ice attack. I just realised I haven't made a single note this entire time. I've got like a fancy pad of paper out in front of me ready to take notes. But I haven't been noting any items, any moves, anything. All I did was write down the 6 Pokemon that they brought with them. Well, I guess I'll just have to remember it. And now we get... Do we get... Yes, here we go, my power construct. Here comes the big guy. Whoosh. Get all that HP back. I've still got 2 turns of my Dynamax. Now, I think that Zygarde walls the Heatran pretty nicely. Because I can hit that thing for 4 times damage. They can boost their defense if they want. They're still taking a lot of damage from a Max Quake. And their fire stuff, their steels... I think I need to take the Hitmontop out. That's the much bigger threat for me. I'm going to Max Wormwind and... I'm just going to stick a Taunt back on this thing. Maybe. Actually, no, I don't. I think I'd rather just try and get it off the field. Get the ice damage out of here. Once the ice damage is gone, I feel like my Zygarde has a pretty clean run to the finish. I might be making a big mistake. Maybe I'm underestimating the extent to which Zygarde walls a Heatran. I reckon they're max guarding though, because that's what you would do, right? You would max guard to avoid taking a 4 times... Oh no! The Hitmontop is the one who's guarding. That is a good read. So my Chandelur's turn is wasted. I get another attack drop though. I wonder if they're running physical Heatran. Is that a thing? Do people run physical Heatran? I don't know. I just assume that Heatran is a special Pokemon, but now I don't know, because a lot of legendaries can do either, can't they? They can Max Quake. Okay, bye Chandelure. I think that's a fair trade off. Or is it? Because that triple Axle is still going to hurt. Although they are at -2 attack. I guess I should, at this point, Max Quake the Hitmontop. Even though it seems like... Because the Hitmontop, well, they could go for a double protect if they want, but getting a special defense boost on the Zygarde is going to be nice. And the Hitmontop is the bigger threat because of the ice attacks. I feel like the Hitmontop has way more capacity to take this thing out. So let's see what happens. Man, I need to look up where the physical Heatman is. Heatman. Okay, nice. Ooh, that's really good for me. Yes! I get their Hitmontop off the field and I get my special defense boost. Does that crit? I don't necessarily think that that crit mattered. I think that still would have KO'd even without the crit, to be honest. And I get some HP back. And now, the question is, what do I do now? I think I press damage at this point, rather than try and guard. Because I could protect and stall out their last turn of Dynamax, but then we just get into a situation where we trade protects with each other. Oh, that's so much damage. Even through the Sugar Berry. Okay, but Nice. I feel like I'm in a really safe, clean position right now because they only got one sugarberry. Grass is not going to be. I don't know if grass is depleting Thousand Arrows. I don't think it does. I think it only depletes Earthquake. Maybe it does all ground move, but in any case, it's safe again to Thousand Arrows. They can protect if they want, but all they're doing is delaying by one turn. Ah, nice! They cancelled. So, wow, I really was not expecting a win there. Oh my god. Okay. Well, first match went pretty well. Let's line up the second one. Yeah, play with the same rules. Bring out my drafts again. Maybe should I do something differently this time? So what did I learn? Maybe I'll try and remember. The Rillaboom had knockoff and Grassy Glide. I don't know what item it had. The Heatran had Steel and Ground. That's all I saw. Oh, and Protect. Presumably the last one is Fire. So, what am I doing? Am I doing the same thing again? I can't do the exact same thing again, but I still think that maybe this time I don't open with the Berserker. Maybe this time I go Suicune Chandelure. Well, actually, do I gain anything from... Okay, I don't want to run the exact same play, but if I kind of just want to bring the same 4 Pokemon, right? Because Clefairy, I don't think I need it in this situation. Clefairy was only ever there to help mitigate damage from Palkia, which I don't think is a huge concern. The Frostlass. Do I need screens in this situation? Well, I guess if I'm not bringing Clefairy or screens, I'm kind of hurting myself by having no damage mitigation. Do I? I definitely want Suicune. Berserker didn't really do anything for me this time. Would Berserker do anything for me next time? Oh, I'm running out of time. Okay, I'm going to go with the same. Just because, okay, I think that can work, but I will have to play around the fact that they know so much about my team now. I don't know what item the Hypnotic had, but it had High Kick and Fake. Oh, the Rillaboom had Fake out. Heatran and Togetic. Interesting. So they've just swapped their lead up. Let's see. So that Togetic is absolutely going to follow me. They don't have any way of stopping me from putting up a Tailwind. The question is, I guess my Berserker isn't really doing anything against Heatran anyway, but it will outspeed it. Maybe my Berserker just tries to Iron Head Togetic, which will probably follow me anyway. And I like that as an opener. I like that as a first turn. Heatran use Protect, that's fine. Perfect. Oh, double Protect. Well, that's okay with me, because I get Tailwind up again. I don't necessarily care about locking myself into Iron Head, because I still think that the Togetic is the bigger target anyway. And all it means is that now I can Ice Beam Iron Head instead of Tailwind Iron Head, and that means that this Togetic is definitely going down. Unless it protects again. Should I have? Interesting. Okay. I don't mind that. I should have had... Oh, what? I should have had the Suicune Hydro Pump instead of... See, that's something I'm not very good at. when there's a follow me Pokemon on the field, you shouldn't always try and target the follow me Pokemon and just assume they're going to do follow me. You should still try and send your attacks at the Pokemon you want to hit and just prepare for the possibility that they will be follow me. Like, I absolutely should have Hydro Pumped the Heatran last turn instead of Ice Beaming the Togetic. I can do that again though. They know I've got Ally Switch. Are they going to try and Big Brain read into the Ally Switch? Let's see. This, okay, from their perspective, the Chandelure can do two things that would mess with them. It can either taunt the Hitmontop, or it can Ally Switch. I think that in this situation, I don't necessarily care to do an Ally Switch. I think I'm quite happy with splitting my attacks both ways and trying to get some damage on. Okay, that's fine with me. Chandelure, that's no problem. Nice. That hit. Yes, I like that. Absolutely like that. Okay. Chandelure's Focus Sash kicks in. Now, do I just do the same thing again? I really don't know what could they switch in. They don't have anything that will really, like Hydro Pumping the Heatran. I don't think that they can switch their way out of that, or Shadow Balling the Hitmontop. I think I can go for that. I know they've both got Protect, but whatever happens, I'm getting some damage on someone, right? Okay, they go for the double Protect. I like that. There goes the Hitmontop. And if this Hydro Pump connects... Nice, okay. Oh, okay, so this is a 3v1 now then. Let's see who their fourth is. Mamoswine. Right, now that... Oh, okay, I forgot the Togetic was still on the field actually. I forgot that they swapped that out, so it's actually a 2v3. Okay, I was getting a bit ahead of myself there. What do we want here? Do we want the Tailwind back up again? I think we do. Or do we want to prioritise getting the Mamoswine out of here, because actually the Mamoswine is such a big threat. I feel like the Mamoswine is Ice Sharding someone. I want to take my own advice from before and Hydro Pump the Mamoswine. I don't think I need Tailwind because I feel like I outspeed anyway. And I want to Ally Switch in case they try and Ice Shard this Chandelure out of here. Is that a good idea? Should I have done that? That was a bit of a last minute impulse. Maybe I would have been better off just overheating. I mean, it doesn't look like they use Follow Me. Eh, it worked. Oh, Life Orb, Mamoswine. Alright, here we go. Oh, okay, well, that makes sense. You've got to miss sometimes, haven't you? Life Orb, Mamoswine. You can't just use Hydro Pump 3 times in a row and expect it to hit 3 times, can you? I'm definitely not Ally Switching again. In this thing, I'm going to try and double into this Mamoswine, and if they follow me, then so be it. We'll see a lot of damage into the Togetic. Oh, wow. Oh, amazing. Good play. Well done, you. Okay. This ain't great for me. This really turned around. That was such a good double. That was such a good protect on the Mamoswine. Well, now what do I do? Because this Suicune is going to sleep. But the thing is, does that really matter? Is the Mamoswine doing that much damage into Suicune? Do I just want to have the Suicune get a bunch of damage off and then fall asleep? I feel like... yeah, that's not a problem for me. Where is it? Oh, this just got pretty difficult for me. Wow, that protect on the Mamoswine really flipped and reversed it, didn't it? Okay, so what's my current situation? I think I have to max this. Oh, and I think I have to max Strike. Because I can't do Thousand Arrows or Outrage because oh, that's Togetic really showing. This really got me in a difficult position actually, because I can't do Max Ground or Max Dragon because the Togetic is going to avoid both of those. I pretty much have to max this and do Max Strike because that's the only thing that can be Follow Me away. Man, okay, this is really bad for me right now. I need to get this Togetic out of here. I need Suicune to wake up right now. And I need the combination Max Strike and Ice Beam to take the Togetic off the field this turn. If I can do that, then I can see a path to victory here. But if Suicune stays asleep, then this is a really dicey situation. So they're going to do a Max Hailstorm, which is going to hurt. It's going to do a lot of hurt into my Zygarde. The only silver lining here is that they can't Ice Shard me if they're big, which means that I can outspeed, especially after a Max Strike. That ain't that much damage. Ooh, is an Ice Beam even going to finish this up? I don't think it is. I think this is it for me. I don't really see how, even if the Suicune woke up, which it didn't, and now my Zygarde just eats a Max Hailstorm. Oh yeah, I should have seen that coming. Man. Alright, Suicune, it's... You know what I should have done there? I should have maxed this. No, should I have maxed the Suicune? What would have happened if I'd done that? I could have. I mean, it would have been asleep. I still need to try and get rid of this Togetic. But the thing is, Suicune walls the Mamoswine pretty nicely. I wonder how much damage a Max Hailstorm. Oh my god, Suicune. Okay. This has got to be over then, right? Yeah, that's a lot of damage. Man, my opponent really played this well. I had a lot of early momentum here, but they completely flipped it, didn't they? Yeah, well, let's see what happens. I'm going to start making some notes about what moves I could remember. Maybe Togetic has Yawn, Follow, Moon, Hitmontop had High Jump Kick, Drifblim had Will-O-Wisp, and did it have Shadow Ball? Did I see Shadow Ball? I don't remember. Mamoswine, Ice Shard, Ground Attack, presumably it has... Oh, it doesn't even finish it. Yeah. Man, good game. Good game to my opponent. They really flipped out on me. And now we go to a third. A tiebreaker. Exciting. Right, well. Yeah, let's go. One more round. One more decider. Oof, I'm starting to sweat now. What am I going to do? How am I going to do? I feel like I need to do something differently. I can't run the exact same team 3 times in a row. What if I've not opened with Zygarde yet. I've not gone for the old Zygarde Clefairy combo. I feel pretty good about that one. I give up Tailwind, but do I need Tailwind? And is the Berserker doing anything for me? All it's really doing is Iron Head. Iron Head into the Togetic and the Mamoswine is nice. It's not without its abilities. The Suicune is very bulky, but it doesn't really bring the damage that I'd like to see. Chandelure. The Heat Brand is putting the Chandelure in a tricky position. I think I want to bring the Berserker because I like it and it's got alright matchups. Who do I bring fourth? Suicune or Chandelure? Who's more useful to me? Suicune, what does it give me? The thing is, if I'm not using Tailwind, I don't know that Suicune is that great for me, whereas Chandelure can do damage. So let's do this. Let's see what happens. Let's break this tie. Man, what a good match. That last one was really good. Drifblim and Rillaboom. Does Fake Out go before Follow Me? I want to say yes. I could do something really cheeky here and try and read into them, Will-O-Wisping the Zygarde. And I could get the Chandelure in to eat that Will-O-Wisp with its Flash Fire. I like that because I think that a Will-O-Wisp into the Zygarde is pretty likely to happen at this point. And I think that if I'm doing that, the Clefairy doesn't really need to do Follow Me. So maybe I just... Although I would like to avoid unnecessary damage. Maybe I want to avoid unnecessary damage on the Clefairy. What if I protect? Because that also protects me from a Fake Out into the Zygarde. Chandelure will absorb that too. The only problem is if they decided to Shadow Ball the Zygarde to read into my swap. We'll see what happens. Nice. Okay, that's good. Nice! Yes! The only problem is now though, oh, I guess I can Follow Me Shadow Ball, can't I? Because that's... They can't Fake Out anymore. And... yeah, I like that. I wonder if their Drifblim has Protect. Well, they do, they haven't used it. Here comes the Tailwind. Ooh, that's pretty rough for me. I might need to try and stall that out. Yeah, oh, okay, there goes the Eviolite. Alright. Does it survive? Whoosh. Yes, it does. Was that a worthwhile trade-off? To do that much damage to the Drifblim in exchange for losing my Eviolite? do I want to try and... Oh, I definitely don't want to overheat. I don't want the same thing to happen to them. To me, what happened to them with the flash fire read into it. I feel like they're gonna... What are they gonna do? Who do I have in the back? I've forgotten who I bought. Berserker. Can I sprint a Berserker right now? I'm gonna Shadow Ball the Chandelier. Right? Maybe I want to... No, that doesn't do anything for me. I'm running out of time. Oh my god. What? I just completely... Okay. This is okay for me. Man, I just panicked. I just had a complete... I felt like there wasn't any good moves I could do in that instance, and I just completely mind farted. I hope that doesn't... Yeah, that's not great for me. Although... That's alright. Nothing wrong with a little bit of chip damage onto a Togetic. And now it means that I can... They're probably... I wonder if they try and go for the taunt again. Maybe I just double up on the damage here with you. And maybe I just try and blow up the Togetic. Do you think the Togetic protects right now, or do you think the Togetic follows me? I'm going to gamble on it not protecting. That's not so bad. That's pretty bad, but it's not the worst. Man, what do I do? This thing is taunted, right? Right? Did they get the taunt on or not? I've lost track. Yeah, so you have to Moonblast. If you're Moonblasting anyone, you may as well Moonblast the Togetic and get me some of that chip damage. I think I have to Shadow Ball now. Did he taunt both of my Pokemon? Yeah, alright. I ain't overheating anyone. Because I don't want to Heatran to switch in to an overheat. Nice one, Chandelier. What kind of damage does that do? Man, that Togetic is so bulky. It's so bulky. Tailwind's gone though, which is nice. Successfully stalled that out. I think what I want to do now is avoid that thing going to sleep by bringing in a Berserker. Because a Berserker's pretty good in this situation anyway. I'm not overheating, not while I still don't know if there's a Heatran in back or not. And I want to Shadow Ball the Togetic again. I'm kind of just ignoring the Rillaboom, which isn't amazing, but I don't necessarily know what else to do. I feel like bringing the Berserker in is at least safe. Yeah. I'm wasting so many attacks because I keep going into the the Togetic. But the thing is, what I like about this is that this is safe now. Sort of. Because I can do this U-turn into the Rillaboom, because that'll do nice damage. And actually, are they going to swap that Rillaboom out? I'm going to want to get something else in. I think I just have to pour my resources into trying to get this Togetic out of here. And I'm going to try and get the Togetic on the ground so that I can max Quake. This is fine. I like this. Should have U-turned. Taunt, eh? So I can't protect. But I necessarily wanted to. I hope they bring the Togetic back out again. Because now I'm actually in a situation where I want the Togetic out. Aha. So I can't protect. But what I can do is Iron Head the Mamoswine and tag you out into Clefairy. I like that. I know they have Protect on the Mamoswine, but I still feel like this is a safe thing to do. I just don't want to end up seeing the Togetic Mamoswine combo again. Absolutely walled my Zygarde. That's fine. No problem with me. Nice shiny one. Zygarde, swap out the Clefairy. Does the thing protect? Would it have already done it by now? I don't know the order that all the animations play out. Oh, they're maxing it. Oh. Does that mean that Clefairy is about to eat a max Hailstorm? That ain't the worst situation. If I can stall out their Dynamax. I wonder how much damage Iron Head does in this situation. They haven't managed to intimidate or Will-O-Wisp the Berserker. Ah yes, that's what I like to see. That is nice damage. And the Clefairy's taking that Hailstorm. Oh wow, one shot. Is that just massive damage or is that a crit? It's just massive damage. Hailstorm just does that much. But is this the worst situation for me? Because now I need to choose my moves very carefully right now. This is the point. I can tell this is where we're going to make or break this game. Do they max guard their Mamoswine at this point? I think they probably do. I think my safest move is to Iron Head the Togetic and max guard the Zygarde. And okay, oh my god. That is a good switch. Good switch. I don't necessarily know what the full ramifications of that switch are. They lose one turn of their Dynamax unless they Quake into the Berserker, which would be a very clever thing to do. Maybe they read into the fact that I'm about to guard and they Quake into the other target. That would really be bad for me. Okay, nice, nice, nice. Okay, phew. Whew. Okay, that's pretty good for me. Do they have Tailwind up? Did they ever get Tailwind up? They did get it up, but it ran out, right? And they didn't manage to get it back up again. The thing is, they can fake out this Berserker. But if my Zygarde outspeeds, which I know it does, they don't have any Tailwind. They can't fake out it. They can go for a second. I think I double up into the Mamoswine at this point with my attacks, and they can gamble on a second Max Guard if they like. Yeah, there's the fake out. So they haven't gone for another Max Guard. I need Zygarde to pick up the KO here. Oh, should I have used Wormwind instead? Yes, is the answer to that. Oh my god. Oh my god. Christ. Well, man, I can't believe how close I felt like I had that. What did I do wrong? I should have Wormwind. The thing is, the reason why I went for Quake instead of Wormwind. Oh, that doesn't make any sense. I should have Wormwinded. That would have finished him off, and then it would have been Berserker and Zygarde against Rillaboom and Togetic, which is fine. That's no problem. We've got all the time we need in the world to stall that out. I wonder if Berserker could 3v1 right now. It's locked into Ironhead, which is okay. Alright, look. Berserker outspeeds everything on this field unless Rillaboom Grassy Glides, which Berserker doesn't care about that. It's got high defense, it resists it. 2/3 of my opponent's Pokemon are weak against Steel, which it's locked into. This has just become the Berserker show. Let's see if this little dude can go 3v1 right now. Looking good. Okay. Oh, it can Earthquake, can't it? It can Earthquake. Oh, man. Why didn't I take a little bit more time and try and predict a switch like that? Because if I had gone into the Togetic and Ironhead it coming out, it wouldn't have been able to follow me. Because now they can do Follow Me Earthquake. Yeah, that's absolutely the play, isn't it? And this Berserker does not survive an Earthquake, I don't think. I mean, we'll see. We'll see, but I really don't think it does. I really don't like its chances. It's got high defense, but I don't think it has high enough defense to withstand a stab. Yeah, horsepower, same thing. Oh man, I was so close! Oh no! Oh no. Man. What match? Those were 3 good matches, man. I feel like... Ah, man. Okay, everything changed. Man, your whole fate can change. It can hang on a single move, can't it? Because if I had Wormwinded instead of Quaked off of the Max Zygarde, I mean, I know you can go what if about every single decision you make, but I really feel like in that situation, if I had stopped and thought, really weighed up my options a little bit more, then... And if I had... Okay, the 2 big mistakes that I made in that 3rd match were not Max Wormwinding the Mamoswine and not Ironheading into the Rillaboom spot instead of the Mamoswine spot. Because if I'd Ironhead the Rillaboom spot, they would have switched in the Togetic, which would have gotten KO'd, and then because Berserker outspeeds, it can then go for a second Ironhead into the Mamoswine, and then we end up 1v1 Berserker versus Rillaboom, and I don't know. I feel like Berserker has pretty good odds in there. Well, what great matches. Well done to my opponent. Good job, Sebber. Good game. Yeah. I'm glad I got 1 win. I'm glad that it wasn't a 2-0 stomp like it was last week. I feel like those were 3 really good matches where even though I'm lost, I'm really happy with the way they went. Lots of good decisions, lots of good plays on both sides of the field. I was really impressed by some of the protects. Yeah. Well, congrats.